Have you ever wanted to write a book series or are in the middle of one and are stuck and have nowhere to go? Today I'm going to talk to you all about outlining a book series. Now, Pantsers, I know you heard the word outline and you're ready to get out of here because you're not about that life, but there may be some information in here for you too. Before I get started, if you are interested in this topic and want to learn more about the writing process, hit that subscribe button so you don't miss out on any future videos from my channel. Now let's get serious. Hey there, my name is Caitlin Duncan and I am a traditionally published author and ghostwriter. So today I'm going to talk to you about outlining a book series. Now, what do I know about outlining a book series? I've written two of them in two totally different ways. Now, I have published trilogies, but this information can apply to two or more books. So how did I get on the series train? In 2012, I submitted my standalone young adult paranormal novel to a call for submissions. After that call, I received the call from my current publisher. It was as amazing as everyone says it is, and what was even more amazing is that they wanted to turn my one book into 3 books. Talk about a happy dance. Now, after that phone call, I had a lot of thinking to do. At the time, I was in the mindset that I could only sell a standalone and not a series, so honestly, I didn't really think about what I was gonna write. So the book I submitted wasn't going to be split into 3 parts. The book I submitted was going to be book 1, and then I had to go and write books 2 and 3. So I tweaked the original ending to give it a little bit of an opening for the rest of the books in the series. I cleaned up with my editor what became Soul Taken, and I was all excited and happy because my debut novel had come out. Then I had to write the second one from scratch. Soul Taken had ironically taken my soul for years. I had no idea what to do next. So I went to the internet. Now, AuthorTube was not what it is today. So I scoured articles about writing series, yet none of them really hit the mark for me, and most of them were really unhelpful or just not what I was looking for. Some of you may be shocked if you watch my writing blogs to know that I did not have a full outline for what was to become Soul Possessed. I sort of pantsed and plotted my way through it, so I guess you could have called me a plantser, but I was nowhere near where I am today. But the most important bit about all of this was that I knew where I needed to go for the entire series. And that is my biggest piece of advice for outlining a series. I believe that preparation is key. Whether you are the type to write a scene-by-scene outline, a chapter-by-chapter outline, a broad outline, or even just to keep the outline at the back of your head while writing so you don't distract you from the actual writing process. Preparation can really work in your favor. To appease both plotters and pantsers, I'm going to talk to you in a little bit more broad terms here. So if you're looking at a series of books, let's say 3. The reason trilogies are so popular is that they sort of have that 3-act structure built right in: book 1, book 2, book 3, beginning, middle, end. So if we're looking at trilogies, you want to look at the trilogy as a whole. Now find your end goal for the entire series. Where do you want book 3 to end? Do you have that in your mind? Comment below, let me know what the main goal is for the end of your series. Now, to keep those 3 books compelling, you need to find interesting things to fill those books, whether you're writing 3 books or 20. The most successful series has each book solving a problem to get to that main goal. Having books with really no purpose and then saving all of the good stuff for book 3 is really going to upset a lot of readers, and those readers may not even try to make it to book 3 if you haven't delivered on anything up until then. Now, I'm not talking about cliffhangers here. Cliffhangers can be utilized really well to keep readers on the edge of their seat and ready to buy that next book. But good cliffhangers usually have to do with that bigger thread, which is that end goal that you're holding on to right now. So from there, let's break it down into the individual books. How are you going to get to that end goal? Come up with steps on how your main character or main characters gets to that end goal. Now, depending on how many books you want in your series, it sort of depends on how many steps you're going to have to reach that main goal. Now I have a little homework for you to start working on after this video. I want you to brainstorm steps toward that end goal, as many as you need for each book in the series. Each of these steps is going to be the driving force toward the end of your series. I would say to make it easy, you can do one step per book. If you want to dig deeper, which I'm not going to in this video because it's a whole other thing, you can break down each of those steps into smaller steps to get a really robust outline on the entire book. Preparing ahead of time this way will always put your main goal at the focus of each of the books and keep readers invested in the journey. The reason I say that preparation is key is because I know writing one book is really hard, but writing more on top of that can be even harder. And having that core goal will always bring you back if you suffer from writer's block or burnout. I made my way through the Life After trilogy, sort of figuring this stuff out. And when it came to writing my next trilogy, which is the Sister Secrets trilogy, I really put this method into practice. So I received from my publisher a 3-novella contract for this series. What I did is I brainstormed a sort of shorter synopsis for the overarching goal of the series, and also did about 2-page synopsis of each book in the series. This outlined the main characters of the story and sort of a narrative plot by plot point of each novella. While some of the details definitely changed while I was writing each book, I was able to fall back on this sort of outline when I was stuck, and I continued to update it as the series went on. Inevitably, as I was writing, I came up with more ideas to make the series richer and more fun to read. I always suggest during this process that you don't really get rid of anything. Keep little tidbits of information that you may cut from one book in a notebook or on your phone or on your computer, because what might not work for one book earlier in the series may work later on. Now, in that same vein of keeping notes for your series, I think a series Bible is crucial for any series, whether it's, like I said, 2 books or 20 or more. Series Bibles are great to keep all of the details of your story organized so that there's really no wasted time when you're in the drafting process after book 1. For example, if you forgot the color of the love interest's eyes in book 1, if you already had a sort of a series Bible written, then you'd be able to look back quickly, figure it out, and move on, instead of reading through an entire book for that one instance of an eye color. Now, there are authors who are on different ends of the series Bible process. Some, like Charlaine Harris, who wrote the Sookie Stackhouse series, was sort of dragged by a lot of her readers for the continuity issues in her books, which could have easily been resolved if she had a series Bible, but actually since then she has hired a continuity editor for her books to make sure that her world is consistent throughout the series. And then there's others like Cami Garcia, who has a really in-depth series Bible. I remember when I first saw her video about it, I was so overwhelmed, but it is pretty cool. I'm gonna link that below so you can check out that video after this one. So I'm not really the type to use worksheets because I have this thing within me where if there's like a question about characters, something or other, I feel like I have to answer it and fill in all the blanks, which can be a procrastination thing for me. What I do, because I do write in Scrivener, I have just a running list of characters, settings, images, and anything else I might need in the research area of my particular series. That way I can quickly move through my drafts, and if I have a question about what someone looks like or what a place looks like, I can click away real quick while staying in the same application and then jump back into my story as soon as I can. Now, there are a ton of resources out there about series Bibles, but if you would like me to go more in depth with my process, let me know in the comments below and I can do another video for you. My form of a series Bible / tracker was really helpful when it came to the Sister Secrets trilogy, in which I had different main characters per story, which sort of made them standalone, but they all took place in the same town. So I had to track the main characters, the townspeople, stores and restaurants in town, love interests, etc. One thing I love about series is the infinite possibilities of your world, whether it is a fantasy, science fiction, contemporary, etc., and the ability to expand the world with each of the books in the series. Now this bit is a little more for pantsers than plotters. As much as you do your planning ahead of time, do leave that opportunity for change while you're writing. While I write, I am constantly updating my outline for the book and the series and my notes on characters, settings, etc. Keeping flexibility while also moving toward a goal should really make the process of writing a series go a lot smoother. So let me know in the comments below if you are planning to outline your series. I'd love to hear from you. So if you enjoyed this video, do give it a like, hit that subscribe button, and ring that bell so you know the next time I post a video. I'll see you soon. Pantser, don't click away just yet. I know you heard the word outline and are ready to hit the... In this vein of keeping these notes, I love about series is sort of the infinite possibilities of your... What's up, babe?